Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's called Eat Your Backyard. And in this channel, I generally rant about all kinds of things that I think are cool in terms of edible landscaping and just plants that grow in Florida, Central Florida. I live in East Central Florida, and there's a lot of cool stuff that grows here. So anyhow, let's get on with it. This is something as I'm walking through this nature preserve. I'm doing a number of videos. I try not to keep them too long so I don't bore you to death if you're not interested in the topic. But there's a thing called a Florida blueberry, and it's not really like a blueberry, and kind of tastes horrible actually. It's kind of bitter and blue, but they are edible, and they grow these beautiful blue. It's more ornate. It's more like a cool thing that's very easy to grow in your yard. And you'll see them as you walk through the woods in Florida, if you dare to walk through the woods in Florida and not get bit by a pygmy rattler snake or whatever. But you know, this is a walkway. I mean, look at this. Very soft interaction with nature. There's no danger of being really bitten by anything, but anyway, my point is that the Florida blueberry is very cool, and it's got these beautiful leaves, and it can be trimmed to be fairly bushy, and they grow all over. And I see a bunch of them growing in this general area. Generally, they're not going to grow in the deep hammock. They grow on the edges, and you can see I'm kind of on the edge. Well, maybe you can't really see, but I'm on the edge of. I just walked out of a high hammock, kind of canopied area, and I'm on the edge, and that's where you generally find them. Now, if you pick the seeds when they're ripe, they'll turn that bright purple. You pick them, you plant them, they'll grow. They germinate very easily. If you put them in a little potting soil, I mean, you're going to have a ton of them, so you don't need to go dig them up. Don't go dig them up out of the forest. Grab some seeds. The seeds are just going to drop anyway. You could grab a handful and probably have 50 of them, and that's more than enough. But let's take a look. They're just getting started, and they're not at the point where they're blooming these bright blue berries, which are very small berries, maybe the size of like a BB, but they come in clusters, you know, maybe about the size of your hand, and they're very distinct. They're just a beautiful native Florida plant if you're into xeriscaping and native Florida plants. So here they are. First they start off, this is it. See, it's almost got that kind of like a very light fuzzy leaf to it, and you can see that it's just starting to grow. Those beautiful little flowers. They start off with light purple, and then you can see just a little bit lower they get a flower look to them. Those flowers will all bloom into down a little lower. You can see what they're blooming into. They're turning into little green berries. Those green berries will turn into clusters of bright berries. Oh, look at what hey, look at what I found here. That is a blackberry. Beautiful. Blackberry right next to it. Now that's not going to start blooming blackberries for a little while, but I bet you'll get a ton of blackberries off of that one too. Look at that. It's another blackberry. It's covered in the thorns, but it'll produce tons of blackberries. And what's growing right next to that? Grapes. This is like your own Eat Your Backyard, Eat Your Back forest, man. This summer, this area right here, there's more blackberries behind it. Look at that, it's like a tall one. So cool. Yeah. If you know what to look for, man, you can find tons to eat. Man, the blackberries are really growing up through there. That's so cool. I'm not used to seeing that just growing around. They're all over. Here's one that grew a little bit more in the shade. Another one of these Florida blueberries. See that little wasp doing its thing. They love it because they can go get in those flowers. But again, there's the beautiful little light pink flowers, and farther down what's turned into the berries. But the Florida blueberry, kind of bitter, but still edible. You know, I guess worth a try. And, you know, the general theme is, if you know what you're looking for, Florida edible plants are everywhere. I mean, they're everywhere. Every one of these sable palm trees, if you wanted to, and I wouldn't want to do it, but you could chop it down and you could eat the heart of the palm. There's just an incredible amount. The weeds that grow on the ground, half of them you can eat. You know, some amount of them, you eat them and you're going to die. So you got to know what the heck you're doing. Don't just go out and start eating stuff. But there's plenty of books available. I've read so many of them. And anyway, Florida edible plants. Hey, look what I see right here. That's not edible. That's poison ivy. Growing on up. So you better know what you're doing. But if you do, close up on my mouth, if you do, then you are going to have a good time walking around in the summertime in Florida. Even though you'll be sweating like crazy, you'll be eating food that is delicious and came right from the earth naturally. Hey, I hope you like this video. If you like this kind of video, then go ahead and subscribe to Eat Your Backyard. If you'd like to get notified as new ones come out, I'm going to try to just keep on cranking them out and out and out. And I'm thinking of new formats all the time. I'm even thinking about going for some live videos, doing video, maybe setting up a time once a week or so where I do a live video from my cell phone somewhere. So tell me what you're looking for. Tell me if you like what you see. Like it if you like it. Subscribe if you want to know more about it. Thanks for watching Eat Your Backyard.